Good morning, fellow punters. If there was a clock on the wall in this joint, it would say 7:25 on Saturday morning. Went a bit too late for me last night to do a video, so I spent an extra hour actually looking at races that I missed out on the last couple of days and looking ahead to today and a couple for tomorrow as well. So, busy enough day yesterday again. I was in the cafe for the breakfast at 8:15, which I'll be going to again for the third morning. He's a Turkish man. Very nice. Got a great breakfast, an omelette there, chips with it, toast and glass of orange juice and coffee for £10. Bit of a reduction, he says. I don't know how much, but it's grand, good value. I wasn't as hungry yesterday morning as I was the morning before. And I'll devour it, I think, again this morning. Because we had lunch yesterday, myself and Terry. He picked me up at 1:30 on the button. And there's a pub within walking distance, the Three Daws, right on the Thames there. So we had lunch there. I had roast beef. It was grand. Terry had a chicken burger. Very unhappy with it. He said it was... and he told the server or the guy that was coming around, the waiter, he wasn't happy with it, but dessert to sound. They charged me £9 for 3 scoops ice cream, but I just questioned them on it then, and the £4.50 that sounded better. So I doubt if Terry will be going back there again. I went into town then. I got the 4:45 train. Walked around, found a nice pub. And I met Niall McNulty and we had a few drinks. I had Heineken. It was a bit gassy for me though. I wouldn't be having it again. It's a different taste, I thought, to the Heineken. I didn't have Heineken in a few years, but I should have probably tried a local beer or a local lager. But not to worry. Home at about, I don't know, it's about 9ish or 9:30. I had a good night's sleep last night. It's the best night's sleep I had. So I've a few picked out for today. We had we're in hard luck again yesterday with Moore cocked up big time, I thought, and lost his whip. That's the third horse in this week that we're on the best horse, but we didn't win. The one the day before in Dundalk, Benevente, that got a poor enough ride, I thought, as well, from Young Kearney. That should have won for us. And the one the other day that the £7 claimer was on, that Holly Dial won. It looked like we'd have a winner yesterday evening in Leopardstown. It went even money in running, but it didn't find as much as I thought it would to step up and trip. A race that would suit that is a 7 furlong race in Galway. So that's one we'll be looking out for if that goes 7 furlongs in Galway. But it didn't stay the 9 furlongs yesterday evening. And the first one we did yesterday, you won't hear me mention its name again. Now today I had a power stuff in my tracker altogether. Must be, I don't know, 20. But what I did was, since I started this channel, I think horses that I tipped up and backed, there's been 36 or 37 have went on to win either the next time or the race after that I didn't tip, including Al Hussein there a few weeks ago. It beat Nashwa and Saratoga Gold. I tipped it in Ascot, and the jockey, the Garda jockey, it fell off and it hosed up the next time. Then I think it was 8-1 or something. I think that's out tomorrow again. And there was a couple more lately as well. So there's 4 horses. I'm going to stick them in a Lucky 15 or a Yankee. And if today isn't their day, but they're very competitive racing today, but I thought we tipped them up the last time and they have a right chance. They were placed second or third for us the last time. The first one there is Live Your Dream. It won this race 2 years ago. And it was last seen in Ascot. It was in the mile 4, wasn't it? Yeah, back up and trip again today should suit this. He went out in front the last day at Ascot. It was only beaten a couple of lengths in the Duke of Edinburgh. I think if this does the same sort of day, I think it was a more competitive race the last day.
Dream is trying to thread a passage.
That's him in the red hat.
Dream is being clawed back. HMS President White Jacket moving through. Here's Ryan Moore over the top on Akita Sushi. Beginning to power home inside the furlong. Akita Sushi. HMS President from the rear. White Wolf is running on with a Giro. Akita Sushi nosing ahead from HMS President. 5 on the week for Moore. Akita.
Actually, I'd be nearly making this my nap of the day today, 5-2 favourite. I think the danger would be James Doyle on Merrick. On to the 6:25 in Cork, a horse we backed the last day second, but we won on it the time before, the one we dream of. This is a mare's handicap hurdle, but it won him over a mile 6 for us on the flat. And then the last day, I thought Sean Flanagan left him with a bit too much to do. Back to a straight track. That old down Bantry can be awkward at times, and so down Royal. There's something about up and down, but I think it's back to the step up and trip to 2-4. I think will suit today as well. There's a horse as well that we backed the last. This can be backed each way as well, because they're paying 4 places. It's 13-2. So the horse that I said the last to it, I used to follow in Ireland from a race that had a good. It was in the Stole last year, or was it Killarney? It was the Killarney run. And Gordon, and its first run for the new year, John O'Shea, over similar conditions today, a mile and good to soft. It was finishing very willingly to the line. This is it on the left-hand side with the yellow cap.
The water is back in fourth as they make their way inside the final furlong. The action now near side, Marsh Benham, but Bantry, a big challenger on this near side rail. They've gone on from Eye of the Water and Caribou. Marsh Benham having to be driven out in the closing stages. Only a net clear. Bantry's putting in a strong run. Marsh Benham has just held off Bantry to win the opener. Eye of the Water was third. Caribou fourth. Big gap.
So on the strength of that run, I tipped him up the last, but the race was over 7 furlongs. And it was good to Firm, and he didn't act on the ground at all. So giving it another chance each way today, and that's Bantry in the 7 o'clock. And then the big one on over the jumps today is the Midlands Grand National. Stealthy Tom is a horse we won on before. With Life in the Park is 5-1 as an each way bet on this as well. We're back to the last twice. We're on it in Punchestown. It was third to Kilcrut, but it was 2 miles 5, and the last day it was 2 miles 7. But back up to a trip where it ran its best race to the grade 3 to the Devil's Coachman in Limerick, which was out the back. But if I just happened to set up to show it, if anyone that wants to watch that, it done its best work late, even after the last in Limerick. And back, this race is 3 miles 1. Rachel isn't on it today. They're taking off 3. And Mikey O'Connor. Now, Tullybeg beat it handily the last day, but he's a stone better off. He's getting £2 today, and the last day I think he was given a 12, wasn't he? Or am I raving? £11.6, 10.8, yeah. That's £12. So the stone, that's a big chunk of weight in difference. Now, there's one down at the bottom. I don't know if it's running or not. It should go to run a good race if it gets in. That'd be choice of words, but it's only a reserve, so it's hard to know. And then there's two other. They're the four, I'll call them, bus horses that didn't win for us. We have the 150. It's a handicap. It's for 3-year-olds only. It's a grand little race altogether, but there's a race that I always look at for the rest of the year. Every year that's ran at Ascot. That's the King George, the 5th handicap. That was won by Desert Hero this year. But it was a mile 4. And if you look at this race, the Godolphin colours, Tagabawa, at the mile 2 pole, it looked all over the winner. And I don't think it just got home, even though it won at a mile and a half before. It seems to be better at 10 furlongs.
On with Bertinelli,
He's got the white face there.
Cloudbreaker. Perfuse now leads. Perfuse from Tagabawa. Valiant King in behind is staying on well. Down the near side, Cloudbreaker. Also Bertinelli in the purple cap. And Desert Hero coming through in the royal colours. They race up towards the line. Desert Hero squeezing through between Valiant King and Bertinelli. It's going to be close. Desert Hero. Desert Hero for the King on the near side of Valiant King.
So that's, I think stepping back and trip will suit that horse. There's one other horse in this, and it's we'll just have a quick look at it. It might be worth anyone that wants an outsider each play. I think it's 12 or 14 to 1. Is Bolster. Now this was in the 10 furlong Hampton Court. I'll keep an eye on it. It's in the same colours as the one the second, but it's actually finishes 10th. But it gets an awful. It's with the red hat. Keep an eye on the horse with the red hat. See the way it gets impeded, and it gets impeded again.
Out wide Exoplanet, and then Canberra Legend trying to come through as well. A very open-looking race, and Waipiro has come through as well, and it's Waipiro that now leads. The Derby 6th leads the way and has kicked away from Exoplanet, and Drumroll stays on, but it's Waipiro for Hampton Court Stakes glory. Tight for second, Exoplanet.
Even though it finished 10th, it was only beaten a couple of lengths, but the fact that it had excuses. So when you see 1-1-0, you say that it went off at 28 to 1. But I think the other one just may be classier. There's another one where I've in my tracker. I had to look at it again last night. It's Like a Tiger, but I just thought that today there's Tagabawa might be the one. And then the big race on the flat of the day, it would be remiss of me not to give you my opinion. The Falmouth. The favourite is Mr. Spencer on Via Sistina. But this being back to a mile today, it'll be squeaky bum time in the last furlong with Spencer trying to get through. If you look at its races, first time out around over 7 furlongs. All other races then was over 10 or 12 furlongs. Won the last day in the Curragh. But Nashwa is a horse that I think over a mile she could be hard pegged back on this track. So I'm going to be on Holly and Johnny G today. I thought Prosperous Voyage, we chipped to the last day, that done no good for us, and I thought it was everything that suited, and Remarquee finished well as well in the Coronation Stakes. But up against its elders today, I'm going to go with Nashwa. I think we went back to it in France last year when it won. So without the favourite, Nashwa's 5-2. There's actually a good betting on that race today. Remarquee would be a decent bet at 6-4 without the two of them, for those that way inclined. So I'm going to get this up. It's 7:40 now. It'll be up just when I'm ready. I'll have showered in the meantime and heading home today. I'll be getting, I think I'll be getting the 1:45 train out of Gravesend to get there in time. I need to be there for 4 o'clock because I know I'll have a choice either getting the fast one or the slow one that takes 2 hours, but I won't do that. I think I'll get the fast one. So it's been a good trip. Enjoyed it. Be home tonight. A 2-day trip would have been perfect. I was itching to get home actually yesterday evening. I was saying because hanging around last night, I should have flew home yesterday evening actually rather than flying home today, but wouldn't take the chance at the time on how things would pan out for me. Bash the bookies, over and out.